There we go. What's that? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm doing this video because I just recently got a PS5, and these are a couple tips and tricks that I personally use, and I'm bringing from my PS4. A couple just ideas that I used to use with that transfer over to the PS5. And all these tips and tricks are little things that will help you prolong your life of your PS5, but also make the experience a lot more enjoyable and just kind of help you with things maybe you didn't know about. So anyways, let's just get right into this. Okay, so number one, I think this is a really good one. And I think this is something you should do straight out the gate as soon as you buy a PS5. Or even if you have a PS4, this will definitely transfer over to it. Go onto the PSN network right now, and there's like tons of free games. Like AAA games, like really good games. Like God of War's on there. I just like finally beat the game, and I've never played it before. My mind is blown at how good that game is. If you haven't played it, go play it right now. It's seriously that good. And with God of War, they just did a PS5 like update. It's not like PS5 version, it's just an update for the PS5. Also Days Gone's on there. You know, you got the Mortal Kombat XLs I think's on there. There's just tons of free games that are really really good games. Number deuce. So this one's a good one. I feel like they're gonna have mixed people saying no and some people saying yes, but for me it really helped. I mean a headset, a really good one. Like for me, I just put out a video about the Kraken Razer headset, Star Wars edition. And I use these for God of War, not just for, you know, for the mic talking in like, let's say Warzone or something like that. But I use these and it's just crazy. Like it changes the whole perception of the game. For example, somebody knocks on the door and you hear it in the backside of the headphone, and then your guy like turns and you hear the footsteps, like you hear him walking over there, and like it's just hard to explain, but like everything is just, you feel like you're really immersed in the world, and it really enhanced the gameplay for me. And I mean like a good headset. Don't use some cheap crappy ones. Like the ones I got are really good ones, and they're great. Go check that review out if you're interested. Okay, so number 3. This one is something I'm carrying over from the PS4 that I would always do no matter what anybody says. It just seems like the proper way to do it in my mind, and that's have all of your like apps and everything kind of closed before you turn your PlayStation off. Like I would just close all my games and things like that just before I shut it off, just so it like shuts down properly. And I feel like just the logic behind this is if you know, do everything right mechanically, it's gonna prolong the life. And like don't leave it in rest mode unless you're downloading games, or like let's say charging your controller if you only have one controller. I think the longer time you have your PlayStation off, the better, and the longer it'll last. And I don't care what anybody says, that just like seems like the proper logic to me. Like the more it's off, the more longer it's gonna be working, right? Keep it shut off when you're not using it. Don't leave it in rest mode, and just close everything before you do shut it off. Okay, number 4. This one is kind of a big one that I'm sure you'd probably see a lot of this in a lot of these other videos, but turn your mic off on your PlayStation 5 controller. These controllers are so amazing, but the fact that as soon as you turn your PlayStation 5 on, your controller mic is already turned on, so you have to press it as soon as it's on, so you don't, let's say you're having a private conversation or something and you're in a lobby and everybody hears everything. So there is a way you could do this, change it. I seriously haven't even changed mine yet. I just forget all the time. And I also use a headset most of the time, so it's not a big deal. But what you do is when the little light is orange, that means it's off. And you could go into your settings and actually switch this so that it's not actually on at all times. Okay, number 5. This one is a good one. You could download actually a couple of free PS5 versions of the old PS4 games you have, which this means, let's say you have like Call of Duty Cold War on the PS4, you could upgrade it to the PS5 version for free. And I didn't know this at the beginning, and I didn't watch any of these kind of videos, and that's kind of why I felt like, you know what, I should make one, because these are things that I feel like a lot of people should kind of know about. So what I ended up doing was just pressing options on that game, and it said right at the bottom game version. I clicked game version and it says PS5 version or PS4 version. You click the PS5 version and it downloads the PS5 version for you. The shitty thing about this though is that you can't a lot of your saved data from the PS4 version doesn't come over to the PS5 version unless it's downloadable content, then it does. With this free PS5 version, this will lead me right into number 6. And number 6 is delete your old PS4 versions because there's not that much space on these PS5s. Like with these PS5s, these games are getting larger and larger in size for like, you know, storage wise. When you download the PS5 version, it'll still keep your PS4 version. Delete that right away because it's gonna save you a lot of space and time in the long run. Yeah, just go into your game library and you could kind of figure it out there. It's pretty simple how to delete games, because you don't want to have a PS4 version and a PS5 version just sitting on your PlayStation 5 when you don't need them both, right? And number 7, so this one is something that a lot of people aren't gonna like, but I say don't use an SSD drive to put your games on, just because I've heard a lot of bad things about people accidentally unplugging them or anything like that, and it just crashes their PS5. Like really bad things have been happening because of this. So for me, I'm not going to be touching any SSD drives until later updates or an actual like upgrade to their system of memory. I'm sure there's something coming. I haven't exactly looked up the research on that, but I'm about 95% sure there's something coming out, right? So just don't use an SSD drive. I know having to download your games from the beginning kind of sucks, and deleting them, re-downloading them. But I've been doing it and it's not that bad if you don't have like the worst Wi-Fi ever. If you do, I don't know, do it the night before, something, figure it out. Don't use SSD drives. Okay, this one's cool. This is a cool feature that they have in the PS5. When you press the menu button, it'll show all these like little quick modes to jump into. So for instance, I'm playing Ratchet & Clank right now. It literally shows all the different missions I could jump into right away, which is super crazy. Like you jump into gameplay like so fast, which is really shows off the PS5's like true potential of like how fast this thing really is. And it really shows that it's like a next gen console. Okay, the last one. This one's pretty cool. You could actually play your PS5 through your iPad if you do have an iPad. All you need to do is download an app. I'm gonna make a whole video about this, so hold on and I'll make a video about it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So what happened is my girlfriend and my daughter, and we're all watching TV on the big screen, and I have my PlayStation upstairs on the big screen. And yeah, I was kind of like, oh, I don't want to have to move it down here, because I sometimes play on this like monitor, but I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. And I seen somewhere that people play on their iPads, and I do have the 12.9 display M1 chip iPad, so I was like, you know what, why not, let's try it out. So if you do have a good Wi-Fi connection, all you need to do is download an app and set your controller up through there, and you're good to go. It's really dope. Like there was a couple times when it glitched a bit, but that was just because like my Wi-Fi isn't the best. But I'm gonna make a whole full video on that coming out soon. Hold on. And that's all my tips. So if you enjoyed this content, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. I really appreciate it. It really helps my channel grow. I'm still really new to YouTube, and I've been putting in the work, so hope you guys do like this. It really does help my channel grow. And we'll see you in the next one.